Tonight on our program, the Ministry of Trade and Industry commits to facilitating the export of non-traditional crops to increase its contribution to the nation's foreign exchange earnings.
Over the last few years, the government has concentrated efforts and resources on enhancing manufacturing capacity and value chain through agro-processing, and this has been prioritized under the support provided under the One District, One Factory.
All right, we'll have more from the West Africa Fair Trade Convention. Also coming up, tackling child labor concerns on cocoa farms. We hear from Chief Executive of Fair Trade Global as the EU warns it may take action if Ghana does not deal with the issue.
Farmers need better prices, okay? I don't think there is anyone, family or any parent really who'd rather send their child to go and work in the farm if they can afford to take their child to school.
And we explore Ghana's electric vehicle market as Ghanaian e-mobility startup Solar Taxi makes inroads. This is Business Live. My name is Darryl Carr. Thanks for being with us. Details in a moment. In our first story tonight, the Ministry of Trade and Industry has indicated its commitment to facilitating the export of non-traditional crops to increase its contribution to the nation's foreign exchange earnings. According to Chief Director Patrick Limo, the ministry has implemented policies and initiatives to ensure that businesses as well as farmers benefit fully from the African Continental Free Trade Area with specific focus on manufacturing. He was speaking at the 2021 West Africa Regional Fair Trade Convention.
Director at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Patrick Nemo, said government will continue to support the growth of non-traditional exports since they are a major contributor to the nation's foreign earnings. It is for this reason, he says, government has invested substantially in the manufacturing sector to help with processing of crops.
I am confident that with the onset of the African Continental Free Trade Area, the potential for Ghana and its African partners to trade within itself and the rest of the world, including the EU and UK, is even more enhanced and can be significant despite the setbacks of the pandemic. That is why, over the last few years, the government has concentrated efforts and resources on enhancing manufacturing capacity and value chain through agro-processing, and this has been prioritized under the support provided under the One District, One Factory program.
Chief Executive of Fair Trade Global, Dr. Iago Inyongo, revealed that an amount of 15 million euros was generated both internally and externally to address challenges of farmers caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
The effects of COVID-19 proved to be diverse and intense, and we realized that the fair trade premium would not be able to cover all your needs. And as such, we embarked on internal and external fundraising, which to date has raised about 15 million euros. Internal donors included Fair Trade International, the National Fair Trade Organizations, Flowsat, the auditing company, and Fair Trade Africa, of course. Among the external donors, and by far the biggest, were the German Federal Ministry of Economic cooperation, and development.
Meanwhile, a member of Fair Trade Ghana Network, Florence Blankson, has appealed to the Ghana Cocoa Board for collaboration to regulate prices of cocoa to ensure the appropriate portioning of the living income differential.
There is this challenge of delays in payment to cocoa farmers, which negatively affects producer members in no small way. We, in this vein, wish to call for a committed collaboration of Ghana Cocoa Board and all commercial partners to resolve the issue so that cocoa farmers and the nation as a whole can realize the benefits of the living income differential. Also, we are much aware of the efforts being made by Fair Trade in empowering cocoa producer organizations to establish structure and other monitoring and remediation systems to combat the menace of child labor. We wish to appeal in the light of this for more funding and closer stakeholder collaboration.
Well, on the issue of cocoa, meanwhile, Chief Executive of Fair Trade Global, Dr. Iago Iyongo, has been speaking to Joy Business about the issues of child labor on cocoa farms. The EU has warned it may have to take action if Ghana does not address it. The Fair Trade Chief Executive says government should tackle the issue of pricing at the farm gate, listen, as farmers keep their children on farms because they cannot afford to take them to school.
Key commodities that you export from Africa, for example, is cocoa. And in recent times, Ghana, which is one of the largest exporters, has been on the spot with the European Commission in relating to child labor. You sitting at the side of fair trade and this being one of the major commodities, how does this play out in the whole discussion of trade for you?
You know, we look at the causes of child labor. I mean, it's easy for people to say that, oh, there shouldn't be any child labor. But why is there child labor? Child labor is there because of one of the reasons, inequalities in trade. Farmers need better prices, okay? I don't think there is any one family or any parent really who'd rather send their child to go and work in the farm, if they can afford, to take their child to school. Child labor is about lack of access to education. So we have to look at what are the causes of child labor to be able to reduce it. And so as much as the European Commission is talking about banning products that come into the EU that have child labor or deforestation in their supply chain, they also need to look at what are the prices the farmers are paying. Because in fair trade, our big push is for a living income for farmers. And we want to expressly say that a living income is a human right. Just as much there are other aspects of human rights, living income is a human right. And so as we tackle the issue of child labor, let's also tackle the issue of better prices. And I think that is what the governments of Ghana and other governments like Cote d'Ivoire should also articulate and push for better prices. I know the two governments have done a great job, yeah, in terms of introducing the living income differential. I think that's great, and we support them in that intervention. But still a lot more needs to be done by the industry.
All right, the Chief Executive of Fair Trade Global speaking there to the head of Joy Business, Odilia Intiamwa. Well, still with Agreg, Member of Parliament for Korle-Klottey, Dr. Zenato Rollins, is urging Ghana to prioritize investments in agriculture. She believes Agreg is a sustainable project, hence her decision to promote a paradigm shift by advising the youth to go into Agreg. Now, speaking at the launch of the National Agricultural Capacity Building and Business Setup Roadshow, Dr. Rollins said the project will empower the vulnerable in society financially, a move that will lessen economic hardship.
AgriHouse Foundation, in collaboration with the Office of the Member of Parliament for Korle-Klottey, Dr. Zenato Rollins, has launched the National Agricultural Capacity Building and Business Setup Roadshow. The project seeks to train 27,500 people in 3 years and aims at providing financial stability for the youth and the vulnerable in society.
The idea is to empower young people in agric and agribusiness. We're trying to create a paradigm shift where people are not looking at agric as something for just the elderly old people in the village, but something that can create employment, that can support young people, women and persons with disability to earn their own money, even in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of an economic downturn in the country. Agric is sustainable. Agric is a big passion of mine, and it makes sense to go into agric. It's something that is easy to do. It's something that is healthy, the health benefits, especially at a time like this when the issue of health and our immune system is so much in the center of issues because of the pandemic. If we're talking about issues like galamsey and, the degradation of our environment, and we're saying that people should stop doing that, which they should, we must also provide them with an alternative that also provides them with the financial stability to help them see the reason why they should come into this kind of thing and move away from harmful things like the engagement in crime, armed robbery, and galamsey.
The project seeks to provide a ready market for participants after the training. The first outgoer, Pabst Food Limited, has pledged its alliance to the project and invested 100,000 Ghana cedis.
So Pabst Foods Limited, operates with international standards. And so we thought if we get all our animals, which is the case from our farmers in Ghana, and we look at international standards, why don't we make sure that the international standards that we're looking for when it comes to processing meat starts from the source, which is the farm? And so that is one of the reasons why we have joined. The other thing which motivated is the fact that we want to empower the youth. Today, as you know, the youth is the backbone of the economy, if I may say so. And so empowering the youth just simply means that we are empowering the nation.
Founder of AgriHouse Foundation, Alberta Akosa, said the team is looking to support the setup of businesses at the end of every training session.
We are hoping that in every region we should be able to not only build the capacity but support in the setup of the businesses. So like has already been mentioned, it's going to take 36 months and we're going to journey through all the regions, and that's why it's a roadshow. And then we are hoping that for each region we should be able to build a capacity of 200 people and then also give them the starter packs, which comes with the cage or the hatch, and then a female rabbit and the doe and then the ducks. That's the pack for those who go into rabbits, and then those who go into mushroom too will support them with the structures.
The National Agricultural Capacity Building and Business Setup Roadshow is a project aimed at training the youth, women and persons living with disability in rabbit and mushroom production. The project will run for 36 months in all regions, but will begin with a pilot of 200 people in the Kwale constituency for 6 days.
We are heavy on agric tonight. While stakeholders in the sector have been urged to introduce the youth to innovative financing, according to Interim Country Director for Heifer International, Irabna Nyani Akofo, the banks are not the only financial institutions that offer financial products, and therefore there are other financial institutions that give loans at cheaper rates. She spoke to Joy Business on the sidelines of the launch of the report, The Future of Africa's Agriculture, an assessment of the role of youth and technology in Ghana.
The youth and agriculture have been advised to consider innovative financing and other sources of incomes and not to focus on bank financing alone. Interim Country Director of Heifer International, Irabna Nyani Akofo, also indicated that tech service needs to communicate with farmers in a language they understand to enable them appreciate the technology they use on their farms.
I think there are so many innovative financing mechanisms that we have in the country right now. An example is Impact Investment Ghana, and I know that there are other equity funds and also impact ventures that are borrowing to youth at a lower interest rate, that are also not just borrowing but then supporting them to excel. And so these innovative borrowing mechanisms is what we should be exposing the youth to and helping them to understand so that they can leverage on it for to increase their businesses or grow their businesses. The issue of the language barrier, we have to look at it from what we say design thinking, or what we call anthropology, right? We need to be able to figure out with the farmers how to do the translation from English to terms that they understand. I don't think that we can sit somewhere in Accra and then translate it to the Twi or the local dialects, I think that this translation, the farmers should be part of it.
The chief executive of the Chamber of Agribusiness, Anthony Morrison, said efforts channeled to developing the youth in agriculture must be doubled. According to him, agriculture is made to be attractive to the youth in neighboring countries, and therefore Ghana should take a cue.
Interesting. Not that we do not know about it, but the comparison with Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria brings to the forelight where we are as a country in the youth development, in the investment of agriculture in order to attract the youth. So we think that it's something that we need to take very seriously. Every country has the youth that needs to help to develop a country, and if your youth in your country are not involving themselves as much in an economic sector that is seen as the bedrock of the economy and development and growth, then I think that it's something that we should double our efforts on.
Meanwhile, Director of Agriculture Extension Services at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Paul Siame, says his outfit has prioritized recommendations from the report and will be worked on.
Of all the observations made in the report, we'll go and study it. I'm sure we'll work closely with you. Some of the observations made where we can come in, and most of them we notice these are some of the information already known to the ministry. So we'll take a further look at it and see how jointly with you and other partners with common interests with you, we'll see how we can help address the observations and challenges identified in the study.
All right, you're watching Business Live. We are taking a short break. Still to come, we explore Ghana's electric vehicle market as Ghanaian e-mobility startup Solar Taxi makes inroads. That story coming up after this break. Welcome back. Now, Solar Taxi, an e-mobility startup operating in Ghana, has been visited by Swiss Minister for Environment, Traffic, Energy and Communications, Simonetta Sommaruga. Sommaruga was impressed with operations of the company, which employs about 90% female engineers. Nicholas Brown has more in this report.
Federal Councillor Sumaruga visited the company to witness first-hand operations of the industry, which is into the design and logo assembly of electric vehicles. The company also sells, rents, leases, and also provides charging points and maintenance for electric vehicles. According to her, Switzerland is a global pioneer of climate protection, having set a standard for international climate projects that respected both human rights and nature. Therefore, the operations of Solar Taxi are among those that her country applauds.
Switzerland has this new strategy together with different African countries, also with Ghana, to promote also vocational training. That means, as the young ladies did here, they go to the academy, but they have also the training and the practice here in this garage. And I think this is very important to have the theory. This is important, but also the practical training, and this is exactly what they are doing here. And Switzerland promotes that because in our country, for young people, it's very important not just go to the university, because they have not the practical training, but they need the practical training, and that's exactly what they are doing here. I'm very glad, because on the one hand, I think this is really, these are the future jobs, so these ladies and young men also who are here, they will have a job also in the future.
The co-founder of Solar Taxi, George Kojo-Appiah, said the company is grateful for the visit. He further indicated that the company is looking at training more engineers, and as a result, there is a need for some financial support.
Our collaboration with government is just going to get better and grow forward going on. Currently, we definitely need a lot of support coming in. For instance, when we want to put up our assembly plants and all that, we are looking for support to make it easy in getting some of our machineries and all parts comes in and all that. And this is a new industry, so we want to work with the government so that in areas that there has to be policy support, we can identify that and support equally. Hopefully, by the end of September, we should have our charging spots and public ones. We can't do charging spot, but it is for individuals. It's not for the public. But we hope to do public ones so that then anybody with electric car can charge from that. So this is also an area that we need government support to get in.
Belinda Akaba, a female electrical engineer with Solar Taxi, shared her experience with Joy Business.
Here at Solar Taxi, we assemble electric vehicles and motorbikes from scratch, and we perform maintenance on the cars. We also build charging station for the electric vehicles, and we also install solar panels too as well.
Talk to me about the ones that you have been working on.
Okay, so this one of our bikes. We have different types, so this is one, and this is our ESC, the electronic speed controller. We have our LED battery here. We have a lithium ion battery here. Then we have our main cable that is running through. So I have to do all the connections here. So from the ESC, I have to pick a cable from the battery and connect it.
Okay.
Some are coming from the headlights.
Okay.
Some are coming from the tail lights. We have some coming from the trafficator lights. We have the DC to the DC converter, and this one powers the tail lights, the headlights, and the trafficator lights too as well.
So you are working on this particular session yourself.
Yes.
And after you are done, then you would have to make sure that
it's actually a moving bike before I move it to the next section for them to cover it with all the plastics. Then we run all the tests on it, no load tests, load tests, before we give it out for operation.
While in Ghana, Federal Councillor Sumaruga signed 2 landmark agreements with her Ghanaian counterparts to boost bilateral and economic development cooperation between the 2 countries in the fight against climate change for the years to come.
Well, finally tonight, Ghana's premier mobile lottery with the biggest and fastest growing jackpot has rewarded 453,000 Ghana cedi cash prize to an orthopedic patient at Wenchi. There's more in this report.
Myself, my wife, and my family, we are all very, 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 very happy. That I come at a time that it will help us a lot. See me on my sick bed. I've been operated on the spine, and it's one of the expensive surgeries. So I have lost a lot. And for the past almost 3 years, I've not been able to work because of this sickness. At this time that we have won this prize, I think it will help us a lot to fill up all this thing that we have lost. I've been in this game for some time now, so I was doubting until Last Saturday that it came rare, so I say, wow, this is rare. What has happened to my life now means that this NLA 787 is rare. Any player who is involved should try his luck. It's a big money. It will help us a lot.
At the handing over ceremony, the head of customer experience, Richard Akoto-Bamfo, announced this week's jackpot prize already stands at 100,000 Ghana cedis, and the game is open to all above 18 years. With the 100,000 Ghana cedi jackpot prize, also is the 20,000 Ghana cedi unique prize. He urged all to take a shot at this week's jackpot game, as it could be a breaking moment with only a phone number being your ticket.
Standing right here in Wenchi, presenting a check prize of 453,000 Ghana cedis to Mr. Opon Yeboah. This can be your moment as well. You can take home 100,000 Ghana cedis jackpot prize. All you have to do is to pick your phone, dial *787#, and then play. You are changing your life with just 5 Ghana cedis. Play more to stand a chance to win more. *787#. It is your game, it is our game, transforming life, transforming your life for the best. So take the chance now.
Well, on that rewarding note, we bring an end to Business Live tonight. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. We've got more business news stories there for you, including those you see on your screen. Stop speculative activities on Newman Ghana's Ahafo North site, that's the EPA, and liquidated fund management firms. Registrar General's Department settles 85% of 1.2 billion cedi bailout cash. myjoyonline.com/business. Thanks for watching. My name is Darryl Kwa. We are back same time tomorrow.